seen my video and to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. I don't know about you, but every time I speak when people don't understand me, I feel stupid. So, this class is a very interesting and fun class that will help you in one little funny thing to never feel misunderstood. So, let's see what two interesting things we have for you today. Well, in previous videos, we've talked about 4 parts of speech that are very, very important for different functions that words have. And those 4, if you remember from the previous videos, were nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. If you remember, each one of those parts of speech has a way to identify itself. And the way to identify itself is the function it serves, or more specifically, the kind of question they answer. And as you will remember, the nouns answer questions who and what. Well, adjectives answer a question what type or what kind of noun that is. Every one of my students always asked me exactly the same question. What's the difference between what type and what kind? Well, interestingly enough, all of my students ask me the same question. They don't understand what's the difference between the word type and kind. So what I did, I went to the dictionary and I said, okay, let's see what people have to say. And everyone had a different explanation. So I thought about it, what would be the best way and the easiest way to explain to my students what the difference is and how they can use those two words 100% correctly every time. So in reality, it's really simple. So let's look at a few examples and let's see if together we can understand exactly what the difference is. Well, in the first example, we have what type of transmission does your car have? And we only have 2 possibilities. One is manual transmission and the other one is an automatic. Okay, let's look at another example. What type of blood do you have? Well, we all know there are 4 types of blood. Type A, type B, AB, and O. So in the first case, you had 2 possibilities that were opposite of each other, automatic and manual. In the second case, you have maybe 4 possibilities, and each one has its own quality. Let's look at the third case and third example. What type of car do you have? Not what kind of transmission, but what kind of car do you have? So, you may have a small car or a large car, or you may have a sports car, individual car, or a family car, which is not individual car. So in both cases, just like in the first case, you have 2 opposites, the small and large, or sports or family. Let's look at another example and see how that works. What type of coffee do you drink? Well, I personally drink regular, but there's also decaffeinated. So we have 2 types of coffee. Regular with caffeine and without caffeine. And then there is a machine-made coffee or instant coffee. Well, I drink the machine coffee. So, in both cases, you have 2 opposites. So what we see, there is a system here when we're talking about a type. We have a choice between things that are complementing each other, as always, or you have just a few choices, like in the types of blood, we have 4, or in our case, the types of words we have in the English language, the parts of speech. And at this point, we're talking about 4 of them. Well, let's take a look at the word kind and see how that works with examples. Valerio is a kind person. What is a kind person? A kind person is somebody who does nice things for everybody. Well, if I do nice things for everybody, the question is, what kinds of nice things do I do? And how many nice things do I do for people? Well, I do many nice things for people. So I don't know. I don't have a list. There is no limit. So a kind person is somebody who is a positive person. Somebody who does many good things for others. What kind of test do you have? Well, there are many tests. We have a math test. We have an English test. English has many tests. We have a science test. It could be a job test. There are many tests that exist. We don't know exactly how many. What about what kind of vacation would you like? How many different destinations are there? Are there only two? Or maybe they're infinite? What about what kind of food do you like? Every culture has its own food. And imagine how many different kinds of food are there among all those cultures. What kind of music do you like? I personally, dancing. I like Latin music. I like classical music. I like country music. But those are not the only kinds of music there are. There are many different kinds of music. Every culture has its music, has its own kind of music. What kind of job do you want? Well, the job I want is to teach English to the world. You may have another job. How many jobs are there among all of the students that I have? And what type of student are you? Or what kind of student are you? So if I were to ask you a question, what type of student are you? What would you say? What if I were to ask you what kind of student are you? What would you say? So let's think again. What is the difference between the word type and kind? So when we say type, we're talking about two opposites, two things that complement each other, or maybe just a few things that we can maybe count on one hand. But if we're talking about different possibilities that are countless, that we cannot count, what are we talking about? So if I say, what type of student are you? What do you think about? What two opposites can you possibly be as a student? You are a good student or you're not a good student, right? Those are the only two opposites. What if I ask you, what kind of student are you? What are you thinking about? Are you a science student? Are you a math student? Are you a physics student? And if you're a physics student, what kind of physics are you studying? What kind of biology are you studying? Are you an English student? What level of English student are you? So this is what kind is all about. So you see, when I meet people and when I have to talk about type or kind, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So after this class, when you will talk about type and kind, you will know exactly what you're talking about too. So, in the future, there will be no confusion and you will have perfect understanding exactly what people are asking you or what you need to tell them. I hope you enjoyed this class and I hope to see you next time. To be in my video and to have me make a video specially to answer your question, send me an email to englishclubusa@yahoo.com, and you can visit my website at englishclubusa.com for a free life membership. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.